where we live in the 2nd Congressional District, we have an honest-to-God race that is really all about a struggle for power in Washington. Who's going to control the agenda starting in January of 2007. On election night, November 7th, the whole country is going to be watching to see what happens here in eastern Connecticut. It really means that your vote means more than it does in a lot of other places. Just to sort of quickly, frame what I think is at stake, George Bush gave an interview to the Wall Street Journal a couple weeks ago, and they asked him, if the Republicans hold on to control of the Congress, what's your agenda going to be in January of 2007? And he made it very clear that the first thing out of the box is they're going after Social Security again. They're going to try and create these private accounts that they are obsessed with as somehow a solution for Social Security. Well, we got the Treasurer here, we got the Comptroller here, we got Claire Janowski. They all know that the problems of Social Security, which are still about 40 years away from truly being a real financial problem, can be fixed without butchering the program. And what we need on November 7th is to make sure that we send a Congress to Washington that's going to once and for all end George Bush's desire to destroy the most successful program in American history. What we need to do is have a Congress that's going to go down there and they're going to fix the Medicare prescription drug plan, which is badly flawed. Nancy Wyman and I were in the legislature when we passed ConPACE. We did it the right way, with a fixed co-payment, a comprehensive list of medications. You used it as you needed it. It was affordable. It was understandable. The complete opposite of what George Bush and the Republican Congress did. 44 different plans in Connecticut, a donut hole coverage gap in the middle of the policy period. Who ever heard of such a thing? I said it's like buying a car. And you get to drive it for 2,000 miles, and then you got to get out and walk the next 3,000 miles, but you still got to keep making the car payments while you're walking. It's an outrage.
Joe Courtney mentioned the ConPACE program, the state pharmaceutical, the prescription program, and I will tell you that that is a model program nationwide.
When we talk about health care, access to quality, affordable health care and prescription drugs, that's Joe Courtney. He represents our interests.
If we want to do better with the prescription Medicare D program, we need people like Joe out there.
It's about shepherding in a more just and responsible society. One that fully appreciates and protects, nourishes, and taps the full value of our human potential.
He was the most trusted legislator at the state capitol.
I have 2 granddaughters that live in this district, in town. And there are very few, as grandparents, you don't give your grandchildren over to anybody, right? Nobody's going to watch over your children as well as you do. I got to tell you that the only man that I trust to send to Washington to take care of my grandchildren is Joe Courtney.
We really need Joe in Congress.
If anyone says to you, your vote doesn't matter, or who cares, just remember what we know in eastern Connecticut, which is that these elections can literally go down to single-digit margins in terms of who wins and who loses.